Hey, my name is Owen McCleese, and this is the Clinton Arrow Podcast.
My name's Grayson Fortenberry, and this is the Clinton Arrow Podcast.
So every year we get to celebrate various students who have accomplished National Merit semifinalists and finalists. Tell me a little bit about that process, about the criteria to be a semifinalist, that you kind of understand it, and then also kind of that process that took you into being a National Merit finalist.
Yeah. So it all starts junior year. You can take the PSAT, the National Merit Qualifying PSAT, and then they go based on that. They take all the participants, all the test takers, and then they pick the highest. They take the highest scores, and then from there they'll kind of weed out, like they'll send out letters for semifinalists, and then that's all on them. And then once you get the semifinalist award, it becomes your thing, and you have to fill out. There's an application for finalists. You have to write an essay, get recommendations, all that. That becomes your responsibility, and then you take care of all that, and then from there you got it.
You got to say all your extracurricular activities from your whole high school career. You have to community involvement is a big part of it, and then there's an essay that you have to write, and the prompt this year was, I think, like, write about somebody who inspires you. I wrote about my dad. Shout out to Pops. But yeah, that's basically just the criteria there.
So now, if I'm not mistaken, the score for where you're going to land in that PSAT, it moves based off of everybody else's, because you said it's like the top 1% or whatever, correct?
Yeah, top 15 or 16,000 in the country get National Merit semifinalists. 15,000 are finalists, and then sub 7,000 get a scholarship based on finalist recognition.
So I know that you told me earlier this year when we talked about you being part of getting your 36 on your ACT, you mentioned that Clinton has a humanities course,
Yep.
which I know helped you with the PSAT, but also with the ACT. How would you say that this class has helped you in terms of your ACT?
Yeah. So, I mean, the first half of the course is based on PSAT. I think I'm remembering that right. One half is based on PSAT. The other half is based on ACT. And so during this ACT portion, they give you the ACT practice book, and it's constant drilling. And they select the certain teachers for each section. They're really helpful. They'll walk you through like the different types of questions that you'll see. They'll give you a bunch of practice tests that really just get you in the mindset and prepare you for the real thing.
Yeah, I would very much so agree with that. I think I was looking at my ACT scores, first time I've opened the website in a while, but before my junior year, before I went into humanities, my score was a 30. Going out of my junior year, I think my super score was a 31 going into my junior year. After my junior year, my score increased to 35 and a 36 in super score. So I think just on ACT, it was definitely worth it for me. It just taught us a bunch of strategies to use while taking the test, and just got our minds ready to think for standardized testing.
So
I think I remember you two mentioning to me, because everyone that I've ever asked about this humanities class, they talk about time management. What did you learn about test taking and time management?
It's time management. That's one of the main things. I think what really helped me was keeping that on the forefront of the mind. It's because there's just no way that you can score as high as you probably want if you don't answer every single question. So really, you have to put the analyzing and the super focusing in on one question to the side, and you just got to get through them and answer everything. And then from there, if you need to, you can go back and check. But if you manage it right, you should be able to get through every question properly with having enough time spent to get the right answers.
So you've been a Clinton Arrow. You've been here since kindergarten.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so
Born and raised.
that's excellent. So clearly what we're doing here is working. And I'm guessing you were the kid that got good grades from the start. You kind of pushed yourself. You were in the classes and doing the things and all that. But eventually, academically, it probably had to go beyond just I do my classwork, I do my homework. It had to click for you somewhere that this aptitude and these abilities can get you somewhere else. Tell me something about where it clicked for you.
Yeah, I mean, people will tell you when you're in high school, they'll be telling you like your GPA, test scores, that's all important. That's what's going to decide. You're going to get scholarship money from that. It's kind of going to help you get into college. It sets you up for your future. But none of that really, at least to me, none of it really mattered until I finally started actually applying to colleges. That's where it really clicked for me. Once you start applying to colleges, applying for scholarships, and then you realize you'll hear everyone else around you talk about applying, how many scholarship applications they're going through, and I was just kind of sitting back and I was like, I don't know what I've done, but I've done something really right, and I have something really special here. So really, once you start applying and get into that process is when at least it clicked for me that I've done something. I've set myself up well.
Yeah, for sure. I think as I started taking the ACT, that really clicked for me that colleges look at that stuff. You get money based off of that. So I wanted to do as well as I could on those tests. And this year, I've been looking at a bunch of colleges, and it's crazy how much they offer for ACT scores, high ACT scores. And yeah, the recruiter person for state, which is where I'm going, he came to me and was like, yeah, man, we're going to pay you basically because of your grades, your ACT score, your national merit. So I think it's worth it to focus on your grades, focus on doing what you're supposed to do, and just taking care of business every day.
So tell me about, so you said in the National Merit Finalist aspect, and then also now going into college, you mentioned extracurriculars. They very much look at that. Tell me about how extracurriculars have impacted you here and why you think they're important for everybody else.
Oh, yeah. So I think the main extracurricular activity that has impacted me is probably student council. I didn't do student council in 7th through 9th grade, but 10th grade year, I got voted into student council, and it definitely just developed my leadership skills, my ability to communicate with people, which ultimately down the road helps me in scholarships, helps me competitively in scholarships, and just helps me connect with people on a more personal level since I can communicate effectively with them.
So a little bit of a curveball question. I sent you some questions to be prepared for this, but kind of going off of that last question, you had a support system. I know you've got great parents, and I know you've got great teachers. So how has your family kind of backed you up, and then how have your teachers kind of backed you up as well?
Yeah. Well, starting with my parents, obviously, I mean, they know me. They've raised me, and so they know how I am about. Obviously, I have my gifts and I'm talented, but also I have a lot of times where I don't want to do stuff. I can be real lazy sometimes, and they've really helped me. They're always there to keep me going, keep me pushing. So anytime I'm ever in an academic slump, I just get sick of it. They're there to pick me back up. And honestly, it's the same with the teachers. I think there are so many teachers in the school district that are just there for their students that really care, and they're just, I mean, obviously they're there, it's their job, but they also, you can tell a lot of the teachers have a really strong passion in their heart for the students, and I've noticed it, especially in a select few that have really been there to make sure I'm getting stuff done, getting my work done. Yeah.
So tell me a little bit about a challenge. So I know that it couldn't just be rainbows and butterflies and smooth sailing all the time. You're super involved. You're in band. You're in attaché. You're in dual enrollment classes. There's a lot that you're doing. Tell me about some of the times when there was a challenge, whether it be an academic challenge or a time frame challenge or something. Where did you meet a challenge, and then how did you overcome that?
Yeah. I'll say probably the first biggest academic challenge that I ran into in my years was as soon as I started taking those AP classes and dual enrollment, it hit me like a truck, because I was so used to like middle school classes. Yeah, they're fine. The early high school classes, like, okay, they're obviously you're getting there, but I mean, still, I was kind of just laying back, like getting my stuff done. I wasn't really being super proactive. I was more just like letting everything happen, and I would, get my good grades, and it'd be that. But then as soon as these AP classes hit, it's a whole different story. Especially you got the tests at the end of the year; those kicked my butt. It's a lot of studying, a lot of you have to be proactive with those types of classes, like college classes, dual credit and AP, the classes that really get you ready for college and get you credit. So a lot of proactivity there.
Yeah, I think going into high school, I was expecting it to be breeze because I had never struggled with school before high school, but I was hit with the harsh reality early on that I was going to have to bear down and get through this and study very much so. And so that's really what influenced me to start trying. And then as a fruit of that hard work studying, there's so many rewards to that. Scholarships, colleges want you. So, yeah, just work hard in whatever you do in school.
What do the next few months look like for you? We're sitting here in February. We've got 2.5 more months until you're a graduate.
Yeah.
And then you've got the future going on. So what do the next few months look like for you, and then beyond that?
Well, really, a lot of my activities they're still going strong. Middle of attaché season, so we still got a few competitions left, and then later we'll have our spring review, which everyone should go to. Everyone watching this should go to that. And then band, we have our evaluation coming up for the concert, the wind ensemble, and we have our spring concert. And then I just have my few classes left, and then after that, I think I'm ready to go. And then college, you can see it on the sweatshirt. I'll be taking my talents to University of Alabama. I'm thinking major in chemistry, minor in music, which it's not the most, it doesn't really make sense, but the way that I've set up myself, I think it's really what I'm going to want to do. So
I'm a firm believer. I'm a product of it myself. The arts tend to help with academics. Absolutely. So I say have the chemistry and have the music and all that.
So the next few months, I will say senioritis is real, guys. You got to get through that. It's hard, but the last few months of your senior year are arguably the most important. You have to get through all your final stuff. So that's the most important stuff in the next few months. Then I'll have summer, take a break from academics, and then orientation in June up at State, where I just tour the college, get to pick my classes. And then August, I'll enroll in State, go there for 4 years, hopefully, major in biomedical engineering. And then after 4 years at State, I hope to pursue a medical career and go to med school. Not sure where yet, probably UMMC, but that's not completely for sure yet. But just whatever the future holds, I'm ready for it.
Well, so much can change in 4 years, so you never know what opportunities you'll get.
Sure.
Now, here's one thing that we're all begging to ask and have to know, because varsity golf player here. Over the summer, are you going to continue to play golf? And then Starkville has some pretty good golf courses as well. You going to keep playing there?
Yeah, I do plan on playing golf for the summer. I just got a new set of clubs. They're pretty sick looking. I like them a lot. They feel really good. But yeah, I've played both the really nice courses up at Starkville. Country club might not be feasible for me, but maybe who knows? I'll meet somebody. They'll invite me to play out there sometimes. Hopefully, get a job at one of the golf courses. But the Mississippi State course is really nice too, so I'll continue playing with my buddies up there.